Good evening and welcome to Apex News Flash. Today is Thursday. It's a warm Thursday evening here in Columbus, Ohio, and this is Apex News Flash. My name is Grace Washington, and I am your host. I have Marcel and Mr. Ernest Kanjo as producers today. For Apex News Flash, we have Liberia secured a major diplomatic milestone with its election to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. This is a big deal for Liberia, and we're going to talk about it more. We have a special guest here in studio, the one and only Eminent Emmanuel Wettee. He is the chairman for the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. He has been a community leader and one of the most respected diaspora leaders here in the United States, and I would say Canada, just in the diaspora. So we will get to him. He was at the conference on Tuesday. He was present, he was live and with other leaders. And so we'll get to him shortly for him to give us more detail on what does this mean for the Liberian government and for Liberians in general. We have the May issue of the New Americans magazine here, and it's featuring State Senator Michelle Ronas. And we have more other news and advertisement in here. So you can grab a copy at the New Americans Magazine office or right here at Apex One radio station and grab a copy, get informed, and see what's happening within Columbus, Ohio. And we also have the Beyond the Headlines. Our new show on Apex One Radio is a news program that will be out. We had the first episode that was released last Friday. We have the second one coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with me, yours truly. So stay tuned and stay glued to your phones, to your radio, and catch it on Apex One Radio at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's go ahead and take a short break. When we get back, we will bring our guest on and then we will get into the conversation more. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Apex News Flash. My name is Danlette Washington. I am your host, and we have Marcel and Mr. Ernest Kanjo in studio as producers. We have Mr. Okon in the back as a producer also. And we were talking about Liberia that scored a major diplomatic goal, and Liberia secured a seat at the United Nations Security Council on Tuesday. And so we have the eminent Emmanuel Wettee. He's the chairman for the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. We attended the conference. He's here to give us more detail and tell us what does it mean for Liberia. Welcome, Eminent.
Well, thank you very much, Grace, and I want to thank the studio staff for the opportunity to be part of this program. I want to say thanks very much for your support on dual citizenship. You provided us the opportunity to spread the message, and I want to report that as of today's date, dual citizenship is not the Lord of the land. I want to tell you thanks all for your support in that endeavor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's get straight into it. On the 3rd of June, Liberia was elected to a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. You were present and live there. What was the atmosphere? What was it like? How were the people feeling that
Well,
day?
Liberia was feeling very good. It was joy. It was wonderful. It was something to be part of history and be proud of. We were very proud to be Liberian at that very moment. It's something very historical since 1961. We just returned to be a non-member of the Security Council. So we all were very happy. We're very proud to be a Liberian. And not only that, coming from the western region of Africa, in Africa, the African around the world were all happy because being a member of the Security Council, it helped you develop the very agenda, the agendas of Africa, the region. What is important, what are the issues that in Africa, what issues in West Africa, what issues affecting Liberia. So at that moment, you have the platform to advocate for your people.
Mhm. Thank you so much. So after 64 years, some may ask, why did it take so long for Liberia to get elected again?
Well, this whole issue of being a permanent member of the Security Council, it got to do with region. So every time we got the African region, let me just reduce ourselves to the African region. So every time when it come out, Africa has a two seat, and the African government, OAU, or whoever will decide which country will take it. So I think, in the period of time, they gave other countries the opportunity to take the seat. So I think, that's my calculation, and that's my thinking. But I'm not saying that there are other countries that have not been there two times,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not sure of that. But from what I heard, is that there's like a kind of rotational, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to give everybody the opportunity. I'm not saying that others have not had it two times. I can speak to that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So, for educational purposes, let's say a younger person, maybe a Gen Z from a newer generation, who may not know it, and they're just coming across this term or this entire United Nations Security Council, and they keep hearing non-permanent seat and permanent seat. How can you explain the difference to them?
Actually, at the foundation of the United Nations after, I don't know, World War II or World War one of them, I'm not too sure. But the creation of the United Nations came after the dissolution of the League of Nations. The
Mm-hmm.
United Nations represents the League of Nations. And in the charter of the United Nations, they gave 5 countries to be permanent member with veto power.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that these countries have the power to veto anything that is said or mentioned. So the 5 countries are the United States, France, Great Britain, Russia, and China.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be a permanent member, it means that you can veto, you have that power, and that there are criteria that make them the member of the Security Council to have veto power. That, as a matter of fact, you cannot even take them up. They are in the charter of the UN, the constitution. So to do that, you need to tear to change the law and everything. Now, a non-member of the Security Council, you have all rights except voting.
Okay.
You cannot vote. You can vote. You can veto. You don't have that veto power. You don't have it. But the good thing that you have influence. You can determine agenda. You can influence discussion. You can influence voting.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring your issue up. You can network with other countries
Mm-hmm.
and promote your agenda for your people. So you have that opportunity to do it. It gives you a broader space, a broader platform
Mm-hmm.
to resolve issue for your people, your region, and yourself. So the difference is that Security Council, a permanent member of Security Council can veto, a non-permanent member cannot vote. They can veto. That's the key thing. But they all can discuss. They all can discuss the issues.
Thank you. And you were there at the conference as a diaspora leader. Tell us who all were present from the Liberian government or other people in the US who went to witness this historical moment.
Oh, Senator Darius Dillon of Monserrato, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Joel Gray was there. Liberian Ambassador to the United Nations, Louis Brown was there.
Mhm.
The House of Representatives Chairman on Foreign Relations was there with some members of the Liberian House were there. The
Mhm.
Minister of Information uh, was there, and from Clarence Jackson, a news uh, um, a journalist was there,
Mhm.
and many other Liberians from the embassy. In fact, Ambassador Barnes, who was once a Liberian ambassador to the United Nations, was also there.
Mhm.
So a lot of Liberians and ordinary Liberians were there to support. Oh, Judy was there.
Judy Andy?
Yeah, Judy was there.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
there. She was there, and it was a very wonderful moment to see,
Mhm.
the joy, the happiness, and the proud. I mean, we just came from Warsaw. This gave our international platform to let the people know that Liberia is back in the
Mhm.
international community.
Yeah. That's amazing. For you personally, witnessing that moment, how did you feel?
Oh, it's just the first thing when I got in the hall of the General Assembly,
Mhm.
I mean, I hear all the time of the news, the United Nations General Assembly, and I just couldn't. I don't know how to explain it, but it was something different, just the environment to
Mm-hmm.
share oxygen with world leaders.
Mm-hmm.
It was very amazing. And the next thing that happened after leaving the General Assembly, I
Mm-hmm.
had the opportunity to go in the actual room of the Security Council where
Wow.
I mean, you could see power where
Mm.
power really, when we talk about power, you could see. I mean, even the arrangement of the seats
Hmm.
in there, you could see it. But so it was a very historical, and I felt very good, reading in school, the Security Council, the General, but just to see the formation, the
Mm-hmm.
structure. I mean,
Yeah.
it was very wonderful, and I felt very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful to those that provided me the opportunity to be there, and the Liberian government. I'm very happy that they allowed me to be part of the delegation. I'm very thankful.
That's amazing. I know a lot of people after the entire conference here in Bakum, there was a watch event with the president and other government officials, and they had other regular citizens. And then here, I saw the celebration. I saw when you even went live.
Yeah.
It was emotional. It was joyful. You could see that happiness and that excitement on the faces of Liberians. So, but then there are other people who felt like it's nothing. They see it as nothing. And I know somebody posted and said, "Oh, now you put all the energy into this and you're doing this and that. If you're going to put it into the country and do and develop the country," they try to criticize something good like that. What do you say to those critics?
Well, look, being a student leader, and I'm not saying I'm a full-time politician, but a student of politics, you will have people that will always oppose. They have their own reason,
Mm-hmm.
But the general good is that you as a government, you as a leader need to be focused.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the product will produce itself. It will come, and those critics will understand.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in politics, critics are not bad. They just want to make sure that you do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for now, we just got the seat. As a matter of fact, we're taking the seat on January the 1st, 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So that will give Liberia the opportunity to, leverage the other pool and bring development to the country. The Chinese embassy in Liberia have just put a release out,
Mm-hmm.
pledging the full support to Liberia. What that means, you know, development will come to the country, because when you at that level, people
Mm-hmm.
look at you, people want to be your friend, because
Yeah.
you're in the power, you're in the power camp. So credit will always have their reason, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a democratic environment. You have to respect the other view of people. So
Mm-hmm.
for now, I think the government of Liberia, the poor of Liberia, are focusing on this achievement, and we all working together to make sure that the Liberian people benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just is a thing of history, but a thing that will go down to the layman
Mm-hmm.
to benefit from. But in democracy, you have this. You should expect people to have their own views. That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I know this happened under the administration of President Joseph Boyka, and then a lot of people also give credit to the current foreign minister. And so I just want to know, what are some of the efforts that were put behind these elections for Liberia to be able to secure these votes? And I'm asking this to you because I know you're a diplomatic person and you are one of the most respected diaspora leaders in America. So if I need to know anything when it comes to diplomacy or anything international relations, I'm calling Eminent Wettee.
Yeah. And okay, so let go back. There were the total membership is 193. Liberia needed uh, 129, no, 126, because they expect that you should have at least two-thirds or a little over two-thirds votes.
Mhm.
So the Liberian government decided to do a massive campaign. They had the foreign minister did a lot of work, traveled to African countries and around the world,
Mhm.
trying to make sure they get the votes for two-thirds.
Mhm.
Because this is what happened. Despite the fact that you are being selected by your region,
Mhm.
it's an automatic win. However, if you have short of the two-tier,
Mhm.
in not amended, they can withdraw your stand. So Liberia went around the world asking for vote, appealing for vote.
Mhm.
The foreign minister did a good job.
Yes.
She traveled around the world to campaign, and our ambassador to the United Nations, Louis Brown, did an excellent job meeting his colleagues, and everything. You have Senator Darius Dillon talking to other diplomats and everybody, trying to make sure Liberia get that important two-tier vote at the United Nations. So for the last 1 month, Liberian government has sent people out to make sure that we get the vote. Liberia established a team that campaign around the world to make sure that we get this exact vote. And it turned out very well. It turned out very well. Those countries that we went to, they responded and they delivered. And the key thing is that Liberia got the two-tier vote they wanted, which is a mandate that all the world have accepted you to return. So that's there are another campaign, airway, social media, diplomatic meetings, visiting countries, making phone calls. President Bweka, his team, the foreign minister, all the foreign mission around the world made a lot of calls to make sure this thing was very successful. And previous government also did the same. Other government before this process didn't start yesterday. It started years ago. So previous government played their part, and it was finished by the President Bweka, who carried out to the finish line. And I want to say thanks to him, for his team and the effort and the kind of investment that he put into making sure that Liberia secure the two-tier vote. So I want to say thank the President Bweka and his team, the foreign minister, our ambassador to the United Nations, Senator Darius Dillon, and everybody that was involved in this whole process. Current administration, past administration, and whosoever directly or indirectly that was involved. And ordinary citizens were also involved. Ordinary citizens, we shouldn't take that, or Judy Andy or other people travel in, and talk to the friends and everybody. So, it was a teamwork.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
So speaking of the past government and teamwork, a lot of people kind of criticize President Bweka, because during his speech or his release, where he gave credit to past leaders of Liberia and those who helped, and some are feeling indifferent that he didn't mention former President George Weah. Why do you think so?
Well, I tell you what, President has a way of responding to situation, and maybe this is a way to say, and maybe you'll find another way to acknowledge President Weah. But I'm not in his mind to know what he did, but I think in his own judgment, he felt that's what you were doing at the time, and maybe there'll be another time he may say, President Weah, thank you, but I'm not in his mind. I was not part of the speech writing, but I trust and believe that he will do the right thing, and let's see what happens. Government has a way of responding to issues. So they have. I'm not moved by the fact that he didn't mention President Weah. I'm not moved by that. I mean, there are many days left. Like he can find another day to appreciate President Weah, but the idea that he never mentioned President Weah, so it's not good. No, I don't buy that. But I trust his judgment. I trust his leadership, and I think his decision at the time was good, and that wait and see.
Yeah, and former President Weah still acknowledged the work, and he put out a statement congratulating the government and the country.
But Liberia is a political country. Everything is politics. So even if he did something, that's Liberia. That's another topic for another day.
So, as a diaspora leader, what does this mean for Liberians living in the diaspora?
Well, Liberian living in the diaspora, it provides business opportunity, it provides influence, it provides connection. Because you see, this issue of the vote is not only in the press here, it's across the world. All the nations, they carry the news. So let's say you're in the diaspora and you met somebody, a business partner, and you say, "Oh, I'm from Liberia." They say, "Oh, you know what? I heard about your country being a member of the United Nations," and that make the connection. So it gave a good image. It gave a good image, and those that image can be capitalized in the business opportunity, even in the school opportunity, and into a lot of things. Because the members in the international community all want to hear good news about a particular country. Yeah. So that, I mean, we in the diaspora, we're going to benefit more. Our business friends, when they in business the transaction with people, and they say, "Oh, I'm from Liberia." So, "Oh yeah, we go about your country." Yeah.
That's good. I like that you mentioned that, other sisters or brothers country want to hear something good, because I know sometimes when you mention Liberia, the first thing that comes to their mind would be, oh, the war.
The
They talk
war.
about the Civil War.
Yes,
So
sir.
especially if you say on the United Nations Security Council, I think it makes a good image for Liberia. Don't you think so?
Yeah, that's true. Just the same way they have the mind, as soon as you call Liberia, they say, "Oh, the war country." But now that feeling will change, that perception will change. That, oh, Liberia, oh, a member of the United Nations Security Council. That will help, into our image and our prestige. Everything will be fine.
And it brings some level of security
Credibility,
and credibility.
credibility and security. Because uh, in the mind of someone in the diaspora, if your country is at that level of the UN, psychologically, oh, that's a good country. The country has peace, it has law and order. So to reach that level, it means that you are in good shape, and I can do business with you, and I can deal with you.
It builds trust in us.
Trust. Yes.
All right, let's take a short break. This is Apex News Flash. Let's take a short break to be right back. Welcome back. This is Apex News Flash right here on Apex One Radio. Today is Thursday, the 5th of June, 2025, and I am your host, Danlette Washington. We have Marcel and Mr. Ernest Kanjo and Mr. Okon as producers. Our special guest here is the Eminent, Wettee, the chairman for the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. And so we were talking about Liberia's election into the United Nations Security Council after 64 years. It's a big, big thing for Liberia, and it's a big thing when it comes to diplomacy. It's a pride for the country. And so, again, just a reminder, the May edition of the New Americans magazine is out, and we are featuring State Senator Michelle Reynolds here. And there are a lot more information, entertainment, and educational content in this magazine. And so you can grab a copy at the New Americans magazine office. You can also grab a copy here at Apex One radio station. All right, so continuing with Eminent Emmanuel Wettee. Eminent, we just want to know, does this strengthen Liberia's internal conflict when it comes to?
It helps to make Liberians to feel good on themselves. And since we want a good image internationally, we believe that this will provide the opportunity for Liberians to try to control their internal conflict and manage themselves. Because you cannot be, making decisions in the war and in your backyard you have conflict. So I think as of now, things are looking good. All the political leaders in the country are supporting this, and everything looks fine so far. We hope that in a good spirit of unity we can continue this after.
Thank you so much. So before you go, we just want to talk a little bit about the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship, being the chairman and all of the work that you have done with other diaspora leaders. Tell us where is the dual citizenship movement now that the bill has been passed that Liberia is legal to Liberians can be legal to vote, or not to vote, but to have dual citizenship.
First thing is that we wanted to thank all of our partners around the world. Now, the the issue of dual citizenship is just the alien and nationality law that have been changed.
Mhm.
So to make this thing permanent is to have a constitutional amendment
Mhm.
that will make it part of the law. So our advocacy, yes, we have it right now because that's the law of the land.
Mhm.
But who knows tomorrow? You have another person that will come up or another set of lawmakers that will come up and say, look, you know what happened? If we don't want this, we can trash this out.
Mhm.
Then we'll go back to square zero. So we're hoping that our next campaign is having it really changed by constitutional means,
Mhm.
and so that's the next campaign that we have. But things are kind of slow because psychologically,
Mhm.
everybody feel that we have achieved what we wanted,
Mhm.
but we in the advocacy know that that is not permanent. The
Mhm.
next thing that we're trying to do is other country voting.
Mhm.
This thing about dual citizenship, it make you to have your Liberian passport. You can travel to Liberia, you
Mhm.
can vote in Liberia, you can have your Liberian ID card, you can own the land, and the key thing that any child that is born by a Liberian mother,
Mhm.
that child is a Liberian at birth.
Mhm.
Prior to this law, only the father could make a child citizen. But
Mhm.
after this law, a mother can pass the citizenship over to the child. So that's a very big thing for our mothers, our sisters,
Mhm.
and all the women and female, Liberians. So that's a big thing. So you can vote in Liberia. If you go to Liberia, you can vote.
Mhm.
There's no issue. You can purchase a land in your own name, and you can have a national ID card.
Mhm.
You can have a passport. You're entitled to your passport.
Yeah.
So these are some of the benefit. And Liberians are going home. They are doing extremely well in the
Mhm.
area of health, education, business,
Yeah.
and name it. So our next advocacy now is to make sure we have a permanent resolution on the thing by changing the constitution,
Mhm.
and also want to do other country voting where
Mhm.
Liberians in the diaspora can vote.
Yeah.
But we want to say thank you to all of our partners around the world, all the advocates, and all the our friends, and even this studio. Yeah, I remember my brother gave me the opportunity to come here and talk about dual citizenship, and many times. So I want to say thank you, Apex, for this opportunity. And today we are pleased that because of what you did, the opportunity you gave us, we now have dual citizenship in Liberia, and once a Liberian,
Always
always a
a
Liberian.
Liberian.
What's it?
That was the eminent Emmanuel Wettee, chairman for the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship and one of the most respected diaspora leaders in the United States. We want to say thank you so much, Eminent, for giving us your time, for giving us, all of the insight, the education, and everything else. Once again, this is Apex News Flash, and I am your host, Danlette Washington. See you next time.
Thank you.